I've played a lot of Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn over the years, but in spite of the many hours that I've put into this game, many hours, I've never actually played hard mode. Now this isn't because hard mode is ridiculous or anything. I mean, yeah, the enemies are tougher and you get less bonus experience, but the problem is that hard mode just isn't fun. There's no weapon triangle, you can't check enemy ranges, it's just not how I want to spend my afternoon. So instead of playing hard mode, I decided to come up with my own challenge, which hopefully you'll find interesting, I'll have a good time with, and this won't turn out to be some kind of mistake. Here are the rules. Number 1, I will be fulfilling all conditions for bonus experience. Radiant Dawn gives you bonus experience based on a number of conditions that the game doesn't really tell you about. You have to toggle a setting, and even then it doesn't tell you what you've earned until after the map. Luckily, we live in the age of the internet, so I will be making frequent use of Serenus Forest to tell me what I need to be doing. And a lot of this is going to be beating maps within a certain number of turns. Rule number 2, I will be finding all hidden treasure. All of it. You know how in some Fire Emblem games, the desert map or something will have certain tiles where if you stand on them, you can find cool stuff? Radiant Dawn is a bit special in that it decides to do that for most of the game. So yeah, I'll be using Serenus Forest for that as well. And I don't just mean collect all of the real items. I mean, I'm getting all of the coins. The coins. I will be getting every single coin. Also, I will be getting every major loot item. I don't really know how to categorize this in a succinct manner, but all enemy drops, all items from chests, all items from visiting houses. I'm also going to be using steel to get any item that I think is interesting enough to go out of your way to steal, basically. This challenge is very informal, if you haven't gathered that. Oh, and also I'm going to recruit every character and finish the game without anyone dying. That's how I usually play, but I figured I'd at least state it. But yeah, those are the rules. So with that out of the way, let's play some Radiant Dawn. So in most of these videos, I'm going to be talking about just one chapter. However, for this one, I'm going to cover the first 2 because one prologue is really short. Honestly, I didn't think I'd have much to talk about on this map, but it gets off to a very weird start when Micaiah just crits the first bandit. I don't know if that's a good or a bad sign. We'll find out. Micaiah is an interesting unit. I'm not really concerned about her getting enough experience. She just tends to get to level 20 with how I play. I use her sacrifice a lot, which gets her a lot of additional experience on turns where she isn't fighting. I feel like I'm going to have a lot less leisure in doing so in this playthrough since I'll be under harsher turn limits. So I'm going to need Micaiah more to actually fight, you know, soften up or kill enemies. So we'll see how much that affects the playthrough. I may not get to do as much chain healing with her and Laura as I usually like, but that's part of the challenge. Moving forward a little bit, Leonardo shows up, and I send Edward to draw out these 2 bandits, as I so often do, and he crits both of them. Yeah. Weird playthrough so far. Weird one prologue. Edward also levels up in the process, and he gets HP, speed, and luck. Well, I mean, I like speed, but at this point in the map, I'm usually getting, you know, a little bit of experience here and there for Leonardo and Micaiah, so right now it's looking very Edward-centric for this map, so I decide, what the heck, give the boss to Leonardo. Leonardo isn't exactly what I call a good unit, but I will be using him nonetheless. I don't usually have that much difficulty using Leonardo, especially when there's bonus experience involved. But there will be some other units later that will be a bit more of a challenge. And just like that, we finished one prologue in under 10 turns. Wow. What a challenge that was for us to get all the bonus experience, all 60 of it. I promise this challenge gets more interesting. 1-1. We have to beat this map in 7 turns or less. Now immediately at the beginning of the map we have a house over here that Leonardo can reach. Usually I just skip this house because it's just a vulnerary. You can get plenty of them in part 1. But we're getting everything, so it's boring, but we're going to get it. And I move everyone else forward. I attack this javelin soldier that's blocking the door with Nolan. I want to make it clear that I'm doing this so that I can visit with Nolan on turn 2. I can only do that safely if at least one enemy misses him on this enemy phase. Which, luckily, the Javelin Soldier does. On the next turn, I visit with Nolan. He has enough HP to survive, and he gets the hand axe. I take care of the 2 weakened enemies with Micaiah and Edward, and I move Leonardo forward. It may look like a mistake to leave Micaiah exposed in this situation, but this guy will never actually go for her when he can hit Leonardo instead, since he can't actually kill Micaiah, and she can counterattack him and Leo can't. So the fighter comes down, hits Leonardo. He's not using his HP for anything else this map. And then on my turn, I take care of him with Micaiah and Edward. Leonardo then gets to come forward and gets a kill for himself, and he levels up, getting speed and strength. In addition to his usual skill and res, I'm so proud of Leonardo right now. And then Edward decides to follow up that act by getting just luck. Oh man, Edward. This is going to be a playthrough, alright. So after handling the rest of the enemies, all that's left are the fighter with the hand axe and Isaiah, the boss, who block the exit. We need Micaiah to exit the map in order for it to complete. We get no extra bonus experience for the rest of our army leaving. So as long as Micaiah is able to do it on turn 7 or earlier, we're good. Now one thing to keep in mind about these two is that they are usually stationary. However, once they take damage, they will move. So if you think you can just soften up Isaiah, then wait a turn and then kill him, no. Also, Isaiah can crit, so be careful. Unfortunately, after I soften up Isaiah with Leonardo and Micaiah, Edward doesn't have enough damage to actually kill him. So he has to settle for the fighter instead, and Nolan gets the kill. And he levels HP, skill, and speed, which is alright. I like speed on Nolan. Skill's good. And now it's turn 7, the boss is dead, and we're free to escape with Micaiah. But first I make sure to trade the Seal Sword onto Edward so that he has it for the start of 1-2, which we'll be talking about next time. So I hope to see you there, and take care.